Welcome to Senior Health Fixed, where your well-being comes first, especially when it comes to managing chronic conditions like kidney disease. If you or someone you love is navigating life with compromised kidney function, every bite you take can either help heal or quietly harm. That's why today, we're unlocking a vital piece of your health puzzle, the truth about protein. Not all proteins are created equal, and for kidney patients, choosing the right kind can be the difference between slowing the disease or silently accelerating it. Imagine this. You're eating the same foods you've always enjoyed: eggs in the morning, a grilled chicken breast at lunch, maybe a steak for dinner. Sounds healthy, right? But what if these go-to proteins are quietly overworking your kidneys, inching you closer to dialysis or worsening fatigue, swelling, and high blood pressure? This isn't fear-mongering. It's fact. When your kidneys are already struggling, the wrong proteins can make their job even harder. But the good news is, the right proteins can help reduce the load, improve your energy, and stabilize your body. So today, we're cutting through the confusion. No fluff, no fads, just clear, science-backed answers to a question that every kidney patient needs to ask: what are the 4 best proteins to eat, and which 6 should you avoid at all costs? Before we jump into the list, here's something vital to understand. Proteins are essential. Your body needs them to build muscle, repair tissues, maintain hormone levels, and keep your immune system strong. But here's the catch. When your kidneys are compromised, your body can't filter the waste products from protein metabolism efficiently. That means urea and other toxic compounds build up in your blood, leading to complications like nausea, itching, poor appetite, or even cognitive fog. That's why not all protein is helpful. In fact, some of the healthy proteins promoted in general diets can be harmful for people with kidney issues. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to choose and what to ditch. And remember, this isn't about deprivation, it's about smart, kidney-safe swaps. Let's dive into the best protein sources first, the ones that give you strength without straining your kidneys. 1. High-quality egg whites. If you're looking for a protein that's both kidney-friendly and easy to digest, look no further than egg whites. They're practically a superfood for people with kidney disease. Why? Because they offer pure protein, no phosphorus, no saturated fat, and very little potassium. Whole eggs, on the other hand, contain yolks that are high in phosphorus and cholesterol, which can be taxing on your kidneys. Stick with egg whites, whether boiled, scrambled with a bit of olive oil, or added to a protein shake. And here's a bonus: they're inexpensive and versatile. You can cook them in bulk, add them to salads, or mix them into rice dishes. Egg whites are a clear winner. 2. Skinless chicken breast, in moderation. Now you might be wondering, isn't meat bad for kidney patients? Well, it depends. Lean, skinless chicken breast, when eaten in moderation, can be a good source of high biological value protein, meaning your body absorbs and uses it efficiently. The trick is to keep the portion small, think deck of cards size, and avoid marinades with too much sodium or phosphorus additives. Always choose fresh over processed. Stay away from deli meats, frozen chicken tenders, or anything labeled enhanced, as these often include hidden phosphates that can damage kidneys further. Also, pair your chicken with kidney-safe sides like steamed veggies or white rice, not heavy sauces or salty gravies. 3. Plant-based protein, lentils, carefully portioned. Yes, lentils contain potassium and phosphorus, but they also provide fiber, folate, and plant-based protein that puts less strain on the kidneys than animal-based options. The key here is portion control and preparation. Soak lentils overnight, rinse them well, and cook them thoroughly. This reduces their potassium and phosphorus content, making them safer to consume. What makes plant protein like lentils especially helpful is that they come packaged with nutrients that fight inflammation and lower cholesterol, 2 things that kidney patients often struggle with. 4. Tofu or soy protein, in moderation. Tofu often gets a bad rap, but in the world of kidney health, it's a hidden gem. It's low in saturated fat, cholesterol-free, and offers a complete amino acid profile. Tofu is also rich in iron and calcium, nutrients that are sometimes lost in a restricted kidney diet. Just make sure to check the sodium content if you're buying prepackaged tofu. Look for low sodium or rinse the tofu before cooking. You can stir-fry it with herbs, blend it into smoothies, or grill it like a meat substitute. And no, soy will not weaken your hormones, it's a myth. For most people, especially in moderate amounts, tofu is a powerful protein choice. Now that you know which proteins are gentle on your kidneys, it's time for the other side of the coin. The proteins that quietly do more harm than good. And here's the uncomfortable truth: many of these foods are marketed as healthy or high protein options. But for someone with compromised kidney function, they're loaded with hidden risks, from excess sodium and phosphorus to hard to digest animal proteins that overwhelm your filtration system. Just because a food builds muscle doesn't mean it protects your kidneys. You've probably heard that everything in moderation is the way to go. That might be true for people with fully functioning kidneys. But when your kidney function is reduced, even moderately, certain proteins aren't just unhelpful. They're dangerous. They increase urea buildup, worsen inflammation, and can contribute to long-term damage. Let's talk about the worst offenders, the proteins you should either eliminate completely or reserve for rare, carefully portioned occasions. First on the list, processed meats. We're talking bacon, sausage, ham, hot dogs, pepperoni, deli meats, anything that's been cured, smoked, or preserved. These meats are a triple threat for kidney patients. First, they're loaded with sodium, which raises blood pressure and increases fluid retention, a nightmare for weakened kidneys. Second, they're often packed with inorganic phosphorus, the kind your body absorbs almost entirely. This form of phosphorus, unlike the naturally occurring kind in plants, quickly builds up in your blood and leads to bone and heart problems. And third, they're full of saturated fats and preservatives that promote inflammation, making it harder for your kidneys to do their job. Next, let's talk about red meat: beef, lamb, and pork. Red meat may be a good source of iron and vitamin B12, but it's also dense in protein that creates nitrogenous waste, the kind your kidneys must filter. Studies have linked high red meat consumption to faster kidney function decline. When you eat a big, juicy steak, your body breaks it down into waste products that pile up in your bloodstream. That's a heavy burden for kidneys already working at half capacity, or less. If you eat red meat, think of it as an occasional treat, not a dietary staple. A few ounces once a week, carefully trimmed of fat and not charred or fried. Otherwise, you risk speeding up the very disease you're trying to manage. Then there's shellfish, shrimp, crab, lobster, scallops. While they're low in fat and high in protein, they're also naturally high in purines, which break down into uric acid. For people with compromised kidneys, excess uric acid can build up and lead to gout, a painful, inflammatory condition that often hits the joints. If you've ever experienced gout, you know how debilitating it can be. The truth is, shellfish simply isn't worth the risk if your kidneys are already struggling. Another protein to be cautious of is dairy, especially full-fat versions like whole milk, cheese, and cream-based products. Dairy is rich in calcium and phosphorus, two minerals that healthy people usually manage well. But in kidney patients, these minerals can become toxic when they accumulate. Over time, this can lead to vascular calcification, bone weakness, and further kidney damage. Even low-fat dairy can be risky in excess. If you rely on milk, consider switching to unsweetened almond milk or rice milk, both of which are lower in phosphorus and potassium. Now let's talk about protein powders and shakes, the kind you might find at a gym, a health store, or in online ads promising lean muscle gain. While they seem healthy on the surface, most commercial protein powders are designed for bodybuilders, not kidney patients. They often contain concentrated whey, creatine, added phosphorus, and artificial sweeteners, all of which are tough on your kidneys. If you must use a protein supplement, always consult your renal dietitian first. Some brands do make kidney-friendly protein powders, but they're the exception, not the rule. Avoid grabbing a tub off the shelf just because it says clean or natural. Always check the label for phosphorus additives and total protein per serving. And finally, beware of canned meats like canned tuna, chicken, or corned beef. These are often drenched in sodium, sometimes over 400 to 500 milligrams per serving, and they often include phosphorus preservatives to extend shelf life. Even though tuna is technically lean, the canned versions are usually high in salt and low in freshness. If you must eat canned protein, look for no salt added varieties and rinse them thoroughly under water before using. Better yet, stick with fresh or frozen proteins and prepare them at home with kidney-safe herbs and spices. You see, managing kidney disease isn't just about reducing protein, it's about choosing the right kind. The goal isn't to eliminate protein entirely. It's to avoid the toxic buildup of waste that comes from the wrong sources. When you eat cleaner protein, your kidneys don't have to work as hard, your energy improves, your blood stays cleaner, and you give yourself the best chance of avoiding dialysis, or delaying it significantly. That's not just diet advice. That's a lifeline. By now, you've learned which proteins offer strength without strain, and which ones are silently hurting your kidneys. But how do you take this information and make it part of your everyday life? Because knowing is one thing. Living it is another. Let's talk strategy. Small changes, repeated daily, create real momentum. If you start your morning with egg whites instead of sausage, swap your red meat dinner for grilled tofu or baked lentils, and trade that canned tuna sandwich for a fresh chicken salad, you're already creating a kidney-safe routine. And remember, portion control is just as important as food choice. Even the best protein can become a problem if eaten in excess. Knowing which proteins to eat and which ones to avoid is just the beginning. The real challenge starts when you're standing in your kitchen, looking at a pantry full of food, wondering what to cook, or sitting in a restaurant, staring at a menu full of options that all seem like a gamble. This is where most kidney patients feel overwhelmed. But that's exactly where Senior Health Fix steps in, to simplify, to guide, and to support your health with confidence and clarity. Let's start with your daily meals. A kidney-friendly plate doesn't have to be bland or boring. It just needs to be balanced, portion-controlled, and low in sodium, phosphorus, and saturated fat. Here's how that can look in real life. For breakfast, ditch the greasy bacon and processed breakfast sausage. Instead, try a protein-packed egg white scramble with bell peppers, onions, and a sprinkle of herbs. Pair it with a slice of white toast or a small bowl of rice porridge. Add a handful of blueberries or apple slices. Both are kidney-safe fruits, and you've got a nourishing start without the inflammatory baggage. Another great breakfast option? A smoothie made with pasteurized egg whites. Yes, they're safe uncooked if pasteurized, almond milk, frozen berries, and a teaspoon of flaxseed. Just skip the protein powder unless it's been cleared by your renal dietitian. Lunch can be as simple as grilled skinless chicken breast on a bed of white rice, with a side of steamed green beans. Or try a lentil salad, small portion, mixed with cucumbers, olive oil, lemon juice, and chopped parsley. The goal here isn't to eliminate flavor. It's to embrace flavor from whole ingredients, not salt, not sauces, and definitely not hidden additives. When it comes to dinner, you might rotate in tofu stir-fried with cabbage, carrots, and ginger. Or try baked tilapia seasoned with paprika and lemon, served with roasted zucchini and couscous. These meals are not only gentle on your kidneys, they're easy to prep in batches so you're never scrambling when hunger hits. But what happens when life gets busy? You're out running errands or meeting family, and fast food feels like your only option. Here's where label reading and smart substitutions matter most. Let's say you're at a restaurant. The menu is filled with fried meats, salty soups, and cheese-loaded sandwiches. Look for grilled proteins, grilled chicken breast without sauce, maybe a baked potato instead of fries. Ask for no added salt, and choose side salads with vinegar instead of creamy dressings. If you're ordering a burger, skip the cheese and bacon. Ask for no bun if it's made with enriched bread high in sodium or phosphorus. Bring your own salt-free seasoning if needed. It's your health, don't be shy about asking. And when you're grocery shopping? Labels are your secret weapon. But here's the catch, food labels don't always tell the whole truth, especially when it comes to phosphorus. Many packaged foods contain phosphorus additives, but they're not always listed clearly. Look out for ingredients that end in phos, calcium phosphate, disodium phosphate, phosphoric acid. These are red flags for kidney patients. If you see those on the label, put the item back on the shelf. Also, don't assume low fat means healthy. Many low-fat or diet products are loaded with sodium or sweeteners that burden your kidneys. You need to look beyond the calorie count and scan for sodium, protein per serving, and phosphorus ingredients. When in doubt, go with whole, unprocessed foods. Fresh meats, dried beans, soaked and rinsed, fresh fruits and veggies, plain grains, these are your safest bet. Now, here's a concern many kidney patients bring up. What if I'm losing weight? What if I feel weak or my doctor says I'm undernourished? That's a real issue. Muscle wasting is common in chronic kidney disease, especially in later stages. But the solution isn't just eating more protein, it's eating smart protein, in the right amount, spread throughout the day. Talk to your nephrologist or renal dietitian about your recommended daily protein allowance. This is often tailored to your stage of kidney disease. Some patients, especially those on dialysis, may need more protein, not less. But again, the source matters more than the number. You want clean, efficient protein sources like egg whites, lean poultry, tofu, and kidney-safe plant proteins, not fatty cuts of meat or processed powders. To prevent muscle loss without overloading your kidneys, focus on small, frequent meals. A little protein with every meal helps the body absorb it more efficiently and reduces nitrogen buildup. Include gentle resistance exercises if your doctor approves. Light weights, resistance bands, or walking can help preserve muscle mass. And hydration? It's crucial. But kidney patients need to balance this carefully. If you're on a fluid restriction, talk to your doctor about how much water or fluid you can safely consume. Dehydration makes it harder for your kidneys to function, while overhydration can cause swelling and high blood pressure. It's a fine line, and your care team can help you walk it safely. At Senior Health Fixed, we believe that aging or facing a chronic illness doesn't mean losing control of your body. It means learning how to work with it. Your kidneys may be compromised, but you are not. You're still in the driver's seat. And every informed decision, every meal you cook with care, every label you read, every temptation you skip, that's strength. There will be days when it's frustrating. Days when you miss old favorites. Days when you feel like giving in. That's normal. But you're not alone. There's a whole community learning how to thrive with kidney disease. You're part of that now. You're not just surviving, you're actively choosing health. So the next time someone offers you bacon or a giant steak and says, "Come on, one bite won't hurt," remember this: one bite might not hurt them. But you're playing a different game. You're not eating to impress anyone. You're eating to protect the only kidneys you've got. This is your journey. And you're doing it right. If this video helped you make sense of the confusing world of protein and kidney health, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone else who needs it. Leave a comment below with your favorite kidney-friendly protein source or a tip that's helped you. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Senior Health Fixed, because your health deserves attention, clarity, and support every single day. Until next time, eat well, stay strong, and take care of your kidneys. You've got this.